Question is practical ways to develop charisma. If it already exists in a certain levels, how to actually raise the level?
How to create it, or how to increase a current existing level that you have?
How to increase the current existent level?
Exposure. And with exposure, I don't mean so exposure has two ways of seeing it, and both are helpful, but exposure with people who you already know, for example, here, the boys, having calls with us, talking more, making a joke, charisma. In that aspect is very simple. But the second one is going to be exposure through and with people that you just don't know. The typical, I'm in the elevator with my neighbors and I make them laugh and we're having a good time in the 30 seconds that we're seeing each other in the elevator. That's what I mean with the exposure. Like you go and you buy a coffee from a barista and you crack a joke or you say something different than other, you can get along with people. Going to the gym and not being afraid of talking with someone. So it's exposure on situations that are not normal, that are not the typical ones that you do. Then this is me and my experience. It's just integrating it in a way that you genuinely are not even concerned about, I have to be charismatic or I have to push more. It's just you're just integrating this so much into your own life, into your own aspect of who you are, that it just becomes who you are. Is it making sense?
Yeah, it does. Essentially repetition in both more comfortable situations, people I know, and less comfortable. How would you comment on specific calibration? Because levels of charisma are different. Sometimes higher levels, people understand what to say in which situation. Sometimes it's not. How to properly calibrate it? Because the usual fear is what we will say something wrong. How to properly calibrate it? Let me know if it makes sense. That specific clarification.
Yeah, it does make sense, and I think the calibration is only based on, again, the exposure. Because how do you know when you have to be making more of a joke or less of a joke? How do you know when the joke has to be, like an obscene joke or a very corporate joke? How do you know? It's just through exposure. And the exposure has, again, two factors, which is one, I have done this in several occasions and I know how most people take this type of joke. So I know it's good. But then it's also the individual aspect of it, because if I make a racist joke with you, we're probably going to laugh. If I make a racist joke with my grandma, she's probably going to say, look, how can you say that? So it's also that individual factor. The calibration is the combination of both. And the interesting thing is that the more you expose yourself in an outer environment, and the bigger it's your let's just call it your peripheral vision, that you can see everything. By nature, you already can guess, and with very high accuracy, to know the individual aspect of it, of the person, that this person will take a joke, this person will speak more to me, this person will not. Yes. A lot of times I push myself out to force this, just like I'm telling you, with, I don't know, someone in my building, and I'm thinking about one chick in particular. She's always on her phone. It's like it's just like this. This is her face, pretty much. Yes. And I literally, because in the elevator, she's always like this. It's like I make a joke and she literally like laughs while she's still texting and talks to me while she's still texting. It's ridiculous. So there's also that, it's okay. It's important to see the other person, but doing back and forths all the time is the best feedback that you're gonna get, because I can give you advice all day, but if you're not implementing it, it's like, how do you know it's working or not? So yeah, just more exposure. This is how we can summarize the whole thing.
Are there any specific guardrails you would install? For example, exposure and trying new things. But for example, if I'm working regular 9 to 5, I'm more than willing to practice and train, but I want to be more careful because I don't want to lose my job. So it's, some parody of a guardrails, like try it, but without getting fired or canceled or both.
No. I mean, in order to be fired or something, you would have to be literally annoying and obscene in a way that you're disrespecting people, or genuinely a parasite that even though you're making good jokes, you're just doing it all the time. And it's like, oh, here he comes again. He's going to make jokes. And it's like, okay, stop. Right.
Mhm.
One thing, you can be extremely charismatic and everyone will like you, but everything you do in excess is a bad thing. If you're just like cracking jokes all day, you're not serious. Not good necessarily. But nah, being fired is that's literally, I don't know, you're not doing your job at all and you're just being a fucking idiot, you know? It's like mental calibration, common sense that no one has, pretty much.
I mean, that's the biggest thing of common sense.
Common sense.
So would it be a good idea to get better calibrated to take things a bit farther, but in a more safe places? For example, if I overstep with a cashier, it's like, I mean, whatever, she look at me like I'm a weirdo, but I don't want to overstep with a boss, kind of like pick the testing grounds, if it makes sense.
No, if you're not sure, you should always push and test. Always. Because in the worst case, if you see a negative reaction, then you know that, okay, I won't do that more. But if they give a positive one, would have been so much worth it. Because if there's one thing that I have learned after really paying attention to everyone, is that 99% of people hate their jobs. They hate their lives. So if you actually can enlighten and can bring up some joy, can break the mental script, people will actually enjoy a lot more being in the job because they think of you. Okay? And it doesn't even have to be at a regular 9 to 5. It could be us, you guys going into an interview. You literally just, instead of answering questions like an idiot, you actually ask, hey, how's your day? Hey, I've been doing some research. You guys are doing this. This is amazing. It must be, man, I'll do it painless for you. I know it sucks to do an interview. You'll probably prefer to be banging some spices in your Rita. And I don't know, stuff that's charisma. That's making people like you way more. So very important to do so. Absolutely.
Makes sense. Those are steps for people with some level of charisma. Because we know some people who is like, I have no charisma at all. I'm just a regular. How do I develop it? What would be approach for them specifically?
To understand that by not doing it, you're missing out on everything. Every good and beautiful thing that you have in life comes out from having an interaction with someone and taking a little risk. And not developing this makes you lose on so many opportunities, great friends, great social networks, a romantic or multiple romantic partners. It's just everything. Like, not having charisma is the worst thing that you can do. So everyone should be obsessed about becoming better at it. And the way to become better at it is by step number 1, realize that you have to be a bit competent in the things that you do, no matter what it is. You have to have a degree of competency. I know what I am doing. I am someone who's smart. And also just being warm and smile. So like cracking a joke, not taking things seriously. And then there are 2 tangents for enjoying life. You know, that I'm always explaining you guys to enjoy life more, be more present, right? And then the other one is being more grateful. And this is an internal charisma. Not everyone talks about the external, but the internal is, I'm going to stop for a second and I'm going to appreciate the fact that I'm alive. I'm going to appreciate the fact that I'm in a country that has food. I have a shelter, that I have great friends, that I have I don't know, what the fuck do you have? But, you know, it's like, depending on the mental context of the person asking themselves the question is, I'm going to enjoy, I'm going to be grateful about the stuff. So I develop an internal and an external charisma.